All right, I've got a couple big announcements for you guys. Number one, PFF's player prop tool is now available on the web for all PFF Plus subscribers. And number two, PFF Plus is 40% off right now. If you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY, you get all of the same data, grades, and analytics that all 32 NFL teams use, all 136 FBS teams use. As well, you get access to our 2026 NFL mock draft simulator, that world-class player prop tool that can help you nail all of your bets, and of course, the best fantasy football tools on the planet as well. Again, 40% off PFF Plus right now when you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. Next up, we got Alabama taking down Auburn in what was a very, very fun Iron Bowl game that went down to the wire. Alabama escaping, though, with a 27-20 victory over Auburn. Let's go over the highest graded players, starting off with Alabama. Highest graded player for the Crimson Tide was Nakai Hill-Green, the linebacker, 82.1. Zabian Brown, 78.8, the corner. Bray Hubbard, who had a couple massive plays for Alabama in this game, 74.9. Keon Sabb, 72.5. Red Morgan, the corner, 70.4. Just an incredible job by Alabama's secondary you can see in this game. And Ty Simpson, 67.1. Great in this one. For Auburn, linebacker Robert Woodyard Jr., 75.5. Defensive tackle Dallas Walker IV, 72.3. Safety Eric Winters, 70.6. Linebacker Xavier Atkins, 70.5. Linebacker Bryce Diaz, 70. And Ashton Daniels, 61.4. Dalton, what told the story of this game?
To me, it's a big part of the story of Alabama's season. It's just been super. I mean, could not have better timing. Timely turnovers. And they won the turnover battle again 2-0 here. And I know it's only 2 plays in this game, but I would argue the 2 biggest plays in this entire game. The Bray Hubbard interception after the Omar Mabson drop. Cam Coleman, the fumble in the final 30 seconds there. And those 2 things right there, the drop and the fumble from those 2, encapsulate a number that I found very interesting here. Auburn in this game, all right, here it is. 45.1 receiving grade as a team. The fumble from Coleman, Max, 7 drops from Auburn receivers in this game. 7 of them. Here's
the pick was a drop too.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not on Ashton Daniels at all, right? Yeah. And that was going down in Alabama territory inside their 30-yard line to tie the game. They tied it on the next drive, but you wonder, you tie it sooner, who knows where things go. 45.1 receiving grade for Auburn. That is the worst in any game by any Power 4 team this season.
Damn.
That's a lot. We're at the end of the year. That right there, those mistakes encapsulate everything for both of these teams to me this year. Every time you think Alabama's done, they're taking it on the chin, they're blowing a big lead, right? They're on the road, it's a big rival. Ty Simpson's trying to gut it out, but it's a struggle. They get the big turnover they need. And there's times where they bend, but they just don't. But think the Vandy game, the 2 red zone turnovers, the Tennessee pick 6 before the half. The Missouri game, the 2 Prebula interceptions. Right?
South Carolina Sellers fumble.
South Carolina Sellers fumble. This is just what Alabama does. Is they just, for some reason, they got the magic pixie dust that whenever they need a turnover, Kalen DeBoer, I don't know if he's got some sort of voodoo doll on all these teams or what, but right when they need the big turnover of the year, every single time they get it. They got it 2 more times in this game. And for Auburn, I mean, look at a 4-8 season that could have been so much different. All 8 of their losses by 10 or less, and 7 of them by 7 or less. I mean, that's just right. You lose 7 games by 7 points or less. Mm-hmm. And it's mistakes like this. It's just mistakes in crunch time. It's the Jackson Arnold sneak against Georgia. It's it's a Oklahoma touchdown that shouldn't have. I'm trying to think of all the moments. Sorry, Zach Tantillo. I don't mean to bring them all up. But I mean, it's just you get to the end of the year sometimes in the final game, and we saw this, I think, with several games, with darn near all of them probably, where it's just, man, this is how these 2 teams' seasons went. And Alabama, when they really needed it most, they got the big turnovers. And Auburn, the lack of execution in the passing game and the untimely mistakes at the worst. It feels like not just, kind of a bad time here to have that one. Like, at the absolute worst moment in the football game where you could have a big self-inflicted mistake. Credit to Bama for staying in it. They've been so resilient. Ty Simpson talked about that, arguably the most resilient team in college football, but they got to get through another task, and they maybe have to beat Georgia a second time to get into the maybe. There's a lot that goes into that, but
I personally wouldn't, but I'm with you. The committee might do it though. They might, which would be.
And there's a whole "what have you done for me lately" factor and all. I don't know. I would be tempted to think kind of like SMU last year, where I go, just don't get blown out.
Yeah,
they lose by a field goal. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because that's still Georgia, and that's still probably going to enter the week as the number 3 team in the country.
It would just be so ironic for Bama to be left out of the playoff because a team they didn't want to punish a team for playing conference title weekend, and then it's like, wait, so you're punishing us for playing conference title weekend?
And it would be awful to go, well, that's what you wanted last year. Yeah. It would be awful. I would just say, in the same vein as last year,
Tuscaloosa would storm the committee room that we went to.
In the same vein as last year, just don't get blown out and take that chance. I don't think they will. You know how Alabama, Georgia, and look, hey, we get another Alabama, Georgia.
I know.
What's better than that on the biggest stage? You know, there could be in the SEC title game, but no, credit to them. Alabama all year. I think a huge theme on their defense, the biggest theme on their defense has been just the timely turnovers and making plays when they absolutely have to. And sometimes, look, just taking advantage of other teams' mistakes. That's part of it.
That's exactly my stat that told stories. One team in the clutch was very clutch, and one team folded under that kind of pressure. And that's been the story of Alabama all year, and the story, unfortunately, for Auburn all year as well, because Auburn had many chances to pull off this upset, but Alabama came out clutch when it mattered most. Again, like you mentioned, Dalton, Auburn drove down to the 28-yard line for Alabama, down by 7 in the third quarter. Ashton Daniels threw a pass that was completely dropped by the running back in Jeremiah Cobb right into the hands of Bray Hubbard for an interception. Later on in that game, Auburn tied the game after that, so it was tied. Later on, Ty Simpson engineered a 75-yard touchdown drive to take the lead in a ballsy fourth down call by Kalen DeBoer on a 4th and 2 from the 6-yard line. Instead of taking the field goal to take a 3-point lead, he let Ty Simpson throw the ball, and he threw a touchdown pass to Isaiah Horton from the 6-yard line. Many people thought they should have taken the points right there. Well, they took even more points by scoring the touchdown right there, and a great call by Kalen DeBoer of going for it on that 4th down. Later on, though, Auburn, like Dalton mentioned, driving down the field to tie the game in the final minute of the game. They were on the 20-yard line with 30 seconds left. Cam Coleman caught a pass. Bray Hubbard forced a fumble, and Deontay Lawson recovered. Bray Hubbard got the interception and the forced fumble for Alabama. Some clutch plays from Bray Hubbard in this game. Again, one team came up big in the clutch. Another team made some massive mistakes in the clutch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the call you mentioned from DeBoer to go for it on 4th and 2, I think that is the correct call, not just because it worked, but because of that process. You think about being down inside Auburn's 5-yard line, think about the payoff when it comes to both consequences there. If it works, you at least get a first down or you score, as they did. If it doesn't work, well, you're still tied. You'll be fine. And Auburn's inside their own 5-yard line trying to drive the whole field to win the game. And yes, sure, they had some momentum. They had a little bit going, but Alabama's defense is still really good, and Ashton Daniels would have had to beat you going down the whole field anyway. So I think the payoff of going for it and getting that touchdown is so, if it was 4th and 8, probably not. Probably kicking the field goal. But 4th and 2, when it's so often thought that you should go for it there anyway, especially with the field position battle that does play a part in it, the right call, and obviously it working makes it even more the right call for sure. But no, you're right. Alabama, this is what they've done all year. They've won the biggest moments of their season after obviously blowing the Week 1 game against Florida State, but they've recovered from that. Only one loss since then, and they've really been outstanding all season. They've been consistent. They have gotten through a lot of these hard times, and I think times in games last year that they wouldn't have gotten through when you think about it. When they get punched in their teeth, and they were way out ahead in this game. Auburn came back and tied it, and they still found a way to get it done and put together the big drive. How about the big, what was it, 8.5 drive to win the ball game before that 4th and 2, or just leading up to that, I should say. So just outstanding stuff, and Kalen DeBoer has just kept this team steady throughout all of it, throughout all the noise about him personally and his team. It's just been a great season for the Crimson Tide.
Who do you want to shout out in this Iron Bowl win for Alabama?
Just as a unit, in between all of the clutch plays we're talking about, first thing you got to do with Auburn is stop the run.
Yep.
Alabama did an outstanding job of that. Obviously, Ashton Daniels got it done when it came to scrambling, but their run defense, how about an 81.7 run defense grade as a unit? They have the third highest run defense grade in the country since week 9, only behind Ohio State and Ole Miss. 84 design rushing yards allowed across 24 carries in this game. Only one explosive run allowed by design, only one missed tackle on design runs as well. Basically, all the same things that we said about Georgia against Georgia Tech earlier, that's what Alabama did to Auburn, is they made them beat them left-handed. There was a moment where it looked like Ashton Daniels was going to get it done, but you would much rather take that chance against this Auburn team. Stop the run for the most part. Stop this Auburn football team.
And one guy who surprisingly was outstanding in run defense was the cornerback, Zabian Brown, in this game. The true sophomore had an incredible game overall. 91.3 run defense grade for the corner. He had 3 run defense stops, a tackle for loss, and a forced fumble in this one. And then in coverage, only 4 catches allowed on 12 targets for 26 yards. He had a dropped interception and 2 coverage stops, only a 42.4 passer rating allowed. Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton Jr. only combined for 69 receiving yards total, thanks in large part to how locked down Zabian Brown was on the outside for Alabama.
I mean, you just look at the amount of talent in this Alabama secondary, right? Zabian Brown, Deshaun Lee's been great all year. You obviously have Hubbard and Sabb at safety. They're just so darn good in the secondary, and you know, they prevent explosive plays. They can win one-on-one, and as always, they force turnovers when it matters most. I mean, this secondary and the improvement that they've made even as the season has gone on, the run defense is great. Yes, we've questioned the pass rush a little bit, and we'll probably continue to do so, but the back 7 of this defense is arguably the best in the country. They've been terrific all season.
I got Drake Holiday in the chat saying, yeah, he's also I would have shouted out too. I got the Drake Holiday stamp of approval right there. I love that.
Well, what more could we ask for, man?
Yeah.
You might as well. Might as well end the show now. It's only going downhill from there. That's the peak right there.
It is absolutely going downhill from there.